The Tower of Ishal is off limits. The men stationed inside are securing it now. I think they used it once to watch for wilders coming out of the forest. By orders of Loghain, the tower is being secured by his men to be used during battle. I'm told they discovered some lower chambers, and they don't know how far down they go, so for now, everyone's to stay out. I didn't see anything like that when I was there, but who knows? Goes back to the time of the Tevinter Imperium. Dwarven make. That's probably why it's still standing. Make us speed your steps.
And so I shall.
Make her watch over you, my lady. Make her watch over you, my lady. Make her watch over you, my lady.
Hail, you must be the Grey Warden recruit that Duncan brought. This place hasn't seen such bustle in centuries, I'll wager. Need a hand getting anywhere? Used to be a fortress long time ago, so I understand. Back in the days when the Wilders used to invade the lowlands. You were just on the eastern side of the ruin. The Tower of Ishal is there, but Loghain's closed it off until the battle. This side is the King's camp. We've got the Grey Wardens here, the Circle of Magi, the Chantry. You can't swing a dead cat without hitting somebody important. This is Ferelden, isn't it? The King has his kennels on the west side of camp. Stinks from all the hounds. These aren't cute puppies, though. Some of those dogs bite the darkspawn and get too much of that blood in them. It's like poison. Slow, painful death. Terrible. Probably in his tent. He and Loghain are on the southwest side of the camp. The King likes to spend time with his soldiers, though. Sometimes even without his bodyguards. Drives Loghain wild, that does. Quartermaster, he's just a bit to the northwest. A few mages, yes. They even brought those creepy quiet fellows, the Tranquil. Gives me the shivers when they talk, all cold and even. They're to the north of here, bunched up with a herd of Templars glaring at them. Can't miss it. Go on, then. Not far. It's straight ahead, just past the royal encampment. Most of your fellas are in the valley with the army, but the recruits seem to be staying up here for now. Try heading north. I think he was sent with a message to the mages. Good luck to you, then.
I'm sorry, but the mages must not be interrupted. I'm sorry, but the mages must not be interrupted.
The mages must not be interrupted. Their spirits are in the Fade. Perhaps they're scouting for Darkspawn. I don't know, and don't ask. Regardless, they are not to be disturbed. Not even by Grey Wardens. The mages must not be interrupted. Their spirits are in the Fade. I am not privy to such knowledge, and, I suspect, neither are you. Regardless, they are not to be disturbed. Not even by Grey Wardens.
We stand here in this hour. We contemplate the death that may await. Death is no failure, my friends. Should it find you, you will not have failed your king. You will have served your maker. Die in this battle, and when you stand
If you'd
before
excuse
the
me,
Maker
we are
in the land
praying.
beyond the Fade,
Shh,
he
I'm
shall
trying
not
to
find
listen.
you wanting. Go
How
not
do you
into
do?
death gladly, but with the knowledge that evil has
Hail,
been held
Grey
at bay
Warden.
by your spilled blood. And if you go to stand beside the Maker, go with our blessing, for you shall not be forgotten. My friends, let us bow our heads and remember those who have fallen and those who have yet to fall.
What do we have here? I heard the new Grey Warden recruit was from the Circle. I don't believe we've met, but I've certainly heard a lot about your talent. My name is Wynne, and I congratulate you on your harrowing, marvelous work. The Fade is a dangerous place. Oh, you know all there is to know already, do you? Irving said as much about you. Remarkable self-confidence. So, a Grey Warden, fighting alongside the king. Not too shabby for someone just out of apprenticeship. The king must always seem confident. His behavior affects the troops' morale. He does seem to find his enthusiasm easily, though. Reminds me of a puppy. And I say that with both respect and affection. He is a fine man. To defeat the Darkspawn, we have to work together. It's not an idea everyone seems able to grasp. Stragglers, yes. Not the vast horde the scouts speak of. I wonder, how much do you know of the connection between Darkspawn and the Fade? Anytime your spirit leaves your earthly body, whether it's to dream or to die, it passes into the realm we call the Fade. It's home to many spirits, some benevolent, others far less so. At the heart of the Fade lies the Black City. Some say the Black City was once the seat of the Maker. But when the mages from the Tevinter Imperium found a way into the city, it was tainted with their sin. That taint transformed those men, turning them into twisted reflections of their own hearts. And the Maker cast them back to the Earth, where they became the first Darkspawn. At least that's what the Chant of Light says. It may be allegory, meant to teach us that our own evil causes human suffering. Or it may be true. It is as good an explanation as any for now. Advice? Never. You young ones know all there is to know about the world anyway. Why would you need advice from an elder? But I'm certain Duncan has more for you to do than talk to me.
Maker above, hear the prayers of your
Back
sons
again?
and daughters.
Don't the
We
Grey
who
Wardens
betrayed
need
your
you?
prophet
Off you
Andraste
go.
now
I
beg
have
your
preparations
forgiveness.
to make for the battle,
Do
and
not
I won't be
abandon us in
distracted.
our darkest hour. Watch over the valiant King Kalen and guide him as he faces this terrible evil.
So, any last wishes I can help fulfill before you head into battle? Life is fleeting, you know. That pretty face could be decorating some darkspawn spear this time tomorrow. Shall I take that quiet glare as a no? Oh, well, too bad. Well, you're not what I thought you'd be. Not a woman, yet here you are. The name's Daveth. It's about bloody time you came along. I was beginning to think they cooked this ritual up just for our benefit. I happened to be sneaking around camp last night, see, and I heard a couple of Grey Wardens talking. So, I listened in for a bit. I'm thinking they plan to send us into the wilds. We're right on the northern edge of the Korcari wilds here, miles and miles of savage country. My home village isn't far, and I grew up on tales about the wilds. Even been in there a few times. Scary place. Cannibals, beasts, witches, and now darkspawn. What isn't to be scared of? It's all too secretive for me. Makes my nose twitch. I guess we'll have to wait and see, like we have a choice. I've got nowhere else to go after what Duncan saved me from. Anyway, I expect it's time to get back to Duncan. That's where I'll be if you need me for anything.
Well met.
Have you seen an elf running about? Young woman, red hair, carrying a suit of chain. Oh, well, I'd like to know where she went, that's what. Ah, pardon my manners. My troubles are no concern of yours, I'm sure. I'm the quartermaster. Did you come for supplies? Oh, I'm sure you have better things to do than run errands for me. I can find them myself. Arms and armor, for the most part. It's for the King's men, but you Grey Wardens can buy what you need for a modest price. I also have some, goods on the side I can provide. Strictly off the record, of course. To keep morale up, you understand. Let me know what you'd like. Hello again. Is there something you need? So long as you keep it quiet.
Welcome, young woman. Yes, and you are a mage of the Circle. You must be familiar with the Tranquil who serve there. I create and oversee the enchantment of weapons and armor for the King's forces here at Ostagar. It is a time-consuming process, but invaluable. Enchantment provides the Circle its wealth. Certainly we would not get by on charity. It is the practice of folding magical lyrium into items first practiced by the dwarves. The Tranquil have learned their runes, and we use them to apply a variety of magical effects. We create the glow lights, as well as the magic staff or the flaming blade. The irony, perhaps, is that it is our very disconnection to our former talents that allows the Tranquil to work with lyrium so. A true mage could not. Runes exist that hold the power of the elements that increase strength or swiftness. Almost any spell can be given permanency, given enough skill and lyrium. Naturally, the greater the power required, the more expensive the rune will become to create. True power comes with a price, as we know only too well. Goodbye.
Soldiers of Ferelden, my sisters and gentlefolk, we stand here on the eve of battle.
This isn't good. I'd hate to waste such a promising member of the breed. Are you the new warden? I could use some help. This is a Mabari, smart breed and strong. His owner died in the last battle, and the poor hound swallowed darkspawn blood. I have medicine that might help, but I need him muzzled first. Centuries ago, a mage bred them to be smart and understand what they're told. They can remember and carry out complex orders. Most valuable dogs in the world. Trouble is, they generally imprint to one master. Re-imprinting them is very difficult. But without the medicine, re-imprinting won't be an issue. Will you help? You're a Grey Warden, or soon will be. All wardens are immune to the Darkspawn taint. The most you have to worry about is some tooth marks. Go in the pen and let him smell you. We'll know right away if he'll respond. Let's hope this works. I'd really hate to have to put him down. Well done. Now I can treat the dog properly, poor fella. Come to think of it, are you heading into the wilds anytime soon? There's a particular herb I could use to improve the dog's chances. It's a flower that grows in the swamps here, if I remember. If you happen across it, I could use it. It's very distinctive, all white with a blood-red centre. The wilds are off limits to non-soldiers, and I have many other hounds under my care. If he doesn't get it, chances are he'll need to be put down. It usually grows in dead wood that collects at the edge of ground pools. Should be plenty this time of year. We're all busy. As it is, if we can get this hound better, we can re-imprint him on someone. Even you, if you like. Good. In the meantime, I'll begin treating our poor friend.
Let us consider the evil before us, in their pride. mages of the ancient Tevinter Imperium sought to open a portal into the heavenly gold.
You there, elf. What's your name?
It's Pick, sir.
Go tell Loghain that the war party's ready to begin scouting. We'll send word if we find anything amiss.
Yes, sir. Right away, sir.
What do you need? You haven't brought more instructions from the Tern, I hope. Loghain has changed our scouting route a dozen times. If you're not from the Tern, what do you want? We're busy. We aren't. We're Ash Warriors. Our training has been passed down since Lathias the Dwarf Son first harnessed the battle rage of the dwarves. It is an old tale. We harness the rage inside us, nurture it, and draw it out so we cannot fall in battle until our last foe is slain. It is a dwarven discipline, but we've adapted it to let us fight alongside our hounds. That is our way. I trust my hound with my life, as he trusts me with his. A trained Mabari hound is as dangerous as any sword. We do not speak of a city pet, or those things that sit in an old woman's lap. To scout the wilds and watch the progression of the Darkspawn horde. With luck, we'll find and slaughter many stragglers. The hunt will be good if my hound survives the blood of his prey. If he dies, I shall mourn tonight. Darkspawn blood is poisonous, but not always fatal. Those who survive grow immune to its effects. The wardens say that tainted blood drives even the survivors mad eventually. But not today. Today, we hunt and we kill. They fight at our side. We don't fret over their safety as if they were children. They use scent to distinguish us from our enemies, but the blood of battle can confuse them. So we paint ourselves with caddis, which overpowers the blood, and also paint our hounds so they know we are the same. Why? Would you steal our caddis and give it to the Darkspawn hordes? If you tried, we would kill you. And that is no joke. My thanks. There is hunting to be done, and I'll not be kept from it.
I do not wish to speak. Not before the battle begins.
We must see to our hounds. To an Ash warrior, a hound is as much a weapon as a blade. Lead me to my preparations.
My weapons thirst for Darkspawn blood. Soon battle will be upon us.
Welcome to the King's Camp, my lady. It's good to have Grey Wardens amongst us. With their help, perhaps we can push these things back underground for good.
Greetings. King Cailan is not in his tent right now? I suppose I do, though he's spending most of his time with the Grey Wardens. He rides with them wherever they go, in fact. Loghain sees the king whenever he can and argues with him over coming battles, but the king just waves him off. The king wants to end the Blight with a single huge battle the bards will sing of for centuries. Do you think that's possible? That's how the Tern feels. He'll do what the king wants in the end, though. The king thought it was funny the Tern called him reckless, and they fought about the queen. To the Tern's daughter, no less. He wasn't happy about something she did or the king did, I'm not sure. I probably shouldn't discuss it. As you wish. Greetings. King Cailan is not in his tent right now. I believe he's with the Grey Wardens in camp, drinking. He holds them in high regard, you know, as his father did. As you wish. You approach the tent of Loghain. State your business. He's inside, but I don't think it's my place to discuss his activities. I suppose, as long as we talk quietly. He and the king have been arguing for days. The Tern's known the king since he was swaddled, so they don't stand on ceremony. The Tern speaks his mind, and the king yells right back. Personally, I think the king should do what Loghain tells him. Without the Tern, we wouldn't be doing as well here as we are. I suppose you have a message for him? Hold on, then.
Yes, what is it? Oh, you're Duncan's new Grey Warden, I assume. His Majesty could not contain his excitement after your meeting. How could I not hear about you? Caelan's fascination with the Wardens goes beyond the ordinary. Are you aware his father brought your order back to Ferelden? The Wardens are impressive, but not as relevant as Caelan thinks. I hear you're from the Circle of Magi. The first enchanter spoke highly of you. A great achievement, for one so young. I don't suppose you'll be riding into the thick of battle with the rest of your fellows, will you? If Caelan has his way, you will. Now I must return to my task. Pray that our king proves amenable to wisdom, if you're the praying sort. He is Marik's son, and the leader of my beloved Ferelden, and a very young man. I try to keep that in mind, as should you.
You approach the tent of Loghain. State your business. How can you not know of Loghain? He helped free Ferelden. He was the brains behind King Marik's armies and drove out those damned Orlesians. King Marik rewarded him by making him a Tern. Can you imagine? A commoner became a high nobleman just like that. Without Loghain, you can bet the king wouldn't be winning against these Darkspawn. He's inside, but I don't think it's my place to discuss his activities. Very well.
Hail, Grey Warden.
Look carefully, man. This wretched thing is a Darkspawn. They're strong and cunning and smart, but don't listen to those old wives' tales. They can be killed. Stick them with your sword enough, and they go down. Their blood is black as sin and poisonous. Don't even touch it. You get tainted with that blood, and you may as well slit your throat. We've lost many dogs already. Had to muzzle them to keep them from biting. It's a long and painful way to die. Well, don't touch the carcass. We'll be burning it so it doesn't infect anything.
Make her watch over you, my lady.
What do these Darkspawn want?
Hail to you.
How do you do?
Hail to you.
This is supposed to be the battle that sends these Darkspawn back underground. You believe that?
I don't know what to believe. We've won every battle, but there's more of them each time.
Makes you wonder if them Grey Wardens are right.
I don't want to think about that.
Sounds like the perfect time to get drunk, if you ask me. Good night for it, Warden.
Has it been getting colder? Every day seems colder.
Good night for it, Warden.
The all before me is darkness, yet shall the Maker's light be my guide. Blessed are the peacekeepers, the champions of the just. My faith sustains me. I shall not fear 10,000 men should they set themselves against me.
Hello? I'm sorry, is there something you needed? I deliver messages around the camp. You have a message for me? Then what is... Oh, wait. Are you the one I'm supposed to give Sir Garland's sword to? Because I think the smith's done with it. Oh, that's such a relief. You really saved me from the switch for sure. I'd best get back to my duties again before I get in more trouble. Hello again. Do you need something now? Oh, all right. Nice to see you again.
The last scouting party made it back.
There are lots of darkspawn, different kinds. We're getting reports of things we've never even heard.
In the name of Andraste, I bless you today. May you find favor in the Maker's eyes.
You need to convince them. We've got to run. The Darkspawn are coming. I saw them. We're gonna die.
I apologize, Warden. He's been like this ever since they found him in the wilds. The commander who brought him here didn't seem to think so.
You can feel it, can't you? They taint the land, turn it black and sick. Oh, you can feel it inside. They'll come out of that forest and spread. Like caterpillars covering a tree. They'll swallow us whole.
That's quite enough out of you. You need to calm yourself, my good man.
They were everywhere. I saw them.
The pain! I can't feel it. It hurts so much.
I don't want to see anymore. I close my eyes. Please just leave me be. I don't want to see anymore.
I apologize if the soldier disturbed you. Ever since they found him in the wilds, he's been like this. I apologize if the soldier disturbed you. Ever since they found him in the wilds, he's been like this.
I heard that some Darkspawn use magic. How? They're animals.
Well met, my lady.
Ah, I suspect you are one of the new Grey Wardens. Will you accept the Maker's blessing? Then I bless you, Grey Warden, in the name of Andraste and the Maker above. May the chant of light carry your name to the ears of our Lord. Hello again, Warden. May the Maker guard you in the coming battle.
Greetings. You must be the third recruit we've heard about. Not a great deal. We've been waiting for your arrival, though. Sir Jury is my name. I hail from Redcliffe, where I served as knight under the command of Arl Eamon. I was not aware they permitted women to join the Grey Wardens. None of those I've seen thus far have been. You obviously impressed Duncan, and that's enough for me. I hope we're both lucky enough to eventually join the Wardens. Is it not thrilling to be given that chance? I fought hard to get here. Impressing Duncan was not easy. Tell me, has anyone told you what this joining ritual entails? I never heard of such a ritual. I had no idea there were more tests after getting recruited. I suppose since you're finally here, I'd best get back to Duncan. I shall see you there.
Huh. Someone finally comes and talks to the lone prisoner. I don't suppose you've come to sentence me? No. They put someone like me in a cage until someone important has time to decide what to do with me. I don't suppose you have a bit of kindness in you? All I want is food and water. They haven't fed me since I was locked up and I'm starving. I expect nobody thought of it with all the battles and such. I'm a deserter. Or so they think. I bet there's no arguing them out of it, though. Armies are funny that way. I wasn't deserting. But when you catch someone sneaking around camp in the middle of the night, what else are you gonna think? Does it matter? All I want is a bit of food and water. Oh, I would have deserted eventually. Just not then. I was stealing, not sneaking out of the camp. I got one of those wizards drunk and took his key. It belongs to a chest they got here, full of magical treasures. In fact, I still have it. I can't use it from here, but I'd trade you for some food and water. I swallowed it, but it's come back into my possession since then, so to speak. Yeah, well, do you want the key or not? Just ask my guard for his. He's still got some dinner. I saw him put it in his coat.
Lucky dog. You Grey Wardens get to ride with the king while I'm left with the drudgery of guarding this deserter. They should have just hanged him. Put his head on a pike as an example. They say he was recruited before the war up in Dinnerham. Probably figured he'd never have to fight if he served the king, right? Why does anyone want to desert? Because he thinks he's going to die and he's a bloody coward, that's why. Either that or he's been listening to a bunch of hogwash about how the Darkspawn will drag you off and eat you. I can't just let him go, can I? The army will figure out what to do with him. Probably just waiting for someone important to make a decision. Then they'll hang him, I expect. And I can go and do something else. Don't expect it was an enlightening conversation. Did he now? Since nobody sends me nothing to feed him with, the only way we'll get that is if I give him mine. All right, all right. I guess the poor fella could stand to have one meal in his belly before he hangs. Don't know why you care. I had nothing to do with it, though. If anyone asks why he's burping, I'm gonna say it was you. Just so you know.
So? Brought me some food, have you? I'm so hungry I could faint dead away. Much obliged. May Andraste herself rain blessings upon you. And, as I mentioned, here's the key. Use it in good health, huh?
That course of action is inadvisable.
Well met.
May I fetch something for you? I'm sorry, but there's so much to do before the battle. I must attend to my duties or I'll get the switch.
What is it now? Haven't Grey Wardens asked more than enough of the Circle?
I simply came to deliver a message from the revered mother, Sir Mage. She desires your presence.
What her reverence desires is of no concern to me. I am busy helping the Grey Wardens, by the King's orders, I might add.
Should I have asked her to write a note?
Tell her I will not be harassed in this manner.
Yes, I was harassing you by delivering a message.
Your glibness does you no credit.
Here I thought we were getting along so well. I was even going to name one of my children after you. The Grumpy One.
Enough. I will speak to the woman if I must. Get out of my way, fool.
You know, one good thing about the Blight is how it brings people together. Oh, nothing. Just trying to find a bright side to all this. Wait, we haven't met, have we? I don't suppose you happen to be another mage? Hardly. I just like to know my chances of being turned into a toad at any given moment. Wait, I do know who you are. You're Duncan's new recruit from the Circle of Magi. I should have recognized you right away. I apologize. Duncan sent word. He spoke quite highly of you. Allow me to introduce myself. I'm Alistair, the new Grey Warden. Though I guess you knew that. As the junior member of the Order, I'll be accompanying you when you prepare for the joining. Right, that was the name. You know, it just occurred to me that there have never been many women in the Grey Wardens. I wonder why that is. Would that be so terrible? Not that I'm some drooling lecher or anything. Please stop looking at me like that. So I'm curious. Have you ever actually encountered Darkspawn before? When I fought my first one, I wasn't prepared for how monstrous it was. I can't say I'm looking forward to encountering another. Anyhow, whenever you're ready, let's get back to Duncan. I imagine he's eager to get things started. With the mage, the Circle is here at the King's request, and the Chantry doesn't like that one bit. They just love letting mages know how unwelcome they are, which puts me in a bit of an awkward position. I was once a Templar. Not that that's all Templars do, but yes, the Chantry raised me until Duncan recruited me 6 months ago. I'm sure the revered mother meant it as an insult, sending me as her messenger. And the mage picked right up on that. I never would have agreed to deliver it, but Duncan says we're all to cooperate and get along. Apparently they didn't get the same speech. Davith and Sir Jory are here in the camp. Have you met them? That makes things easy then. They'll both be back with Duncan by now. You do? Huh. That's a switch. If you have any questions, let me know. Otherwise, lead on. Yes? Don't worry. I'll try not to embarrass you. As I said, I was trained as a Templar before Duncan recruited me about 6 months ago. The Chantry raised me, and becoming a Templar was a decision made for me a long time ago. Duncan saw I wasn't happy, and figured my training against mages could double for fighting Darkspawn. Now, here I stand, a proud Grey Warden. The Grand Cleric wouldn't have let me go if Duncan never forced the issue. I'll always be grateful to him. It just wasn't for me. I believe in the Maker well enough, but I never wanted to devote my life to the Chantry. I spent years in that Chantry, hopelessly resigned to my fate. Duncan was the first person who cared what I wanted. He risked a lot of trouble with the Grand Cleric to help me. Or maybe he just happens to be a good man. What about? So I imagine, what would you like to know? The Grey Wardens are warriors without equal. Darkspawn threatened to destroy the world 4 times over. Each time, the Grey Wardens led mankind to victory. Nobody knows more about Darkspawn, and nobody's better equipped to deal with them. You'll see. Trust me. I don't know if I'd go that far. Duncan says the Grey Wardens do whatever is necessary to protect mankind from Darkspawn. That means some pretty extreme things. Whatever it takes to bring victory. Well, let's see. Surely you've heard of Weishaupt Fortress? The great eyrie carved into the White Cliffs far off in the Anderfels? That's where the Grey Wardens once kept their griffins. The griffins died out, however, and our numbers have dwindled since the last Blight. There's only a handful left in Ferelden. A few more in other nations. The others are camped with the King's soldiers in the valley. The King's given us a position of honor at the vanguard, despite our small numbers. I think Cailan is actually excited to ride into battle with us. Maybe he thinks that's what his father would have done. King Marek, Cailan's father, reaffirmed the power the Grey Wardens were given during the Blights. In practice, we can't conscript too often without hurting our cause. We were exiled from Ferelden once. Best not to let that happen again. You want to ask me about something else? Of course. You want the Chantry's version or the truth? They seldom are. According to the Chant of Light, the Maker imprisoned the old gods underground long ago, as punishment for tricking mankind into worshipping them. The old gods still whispered to some men and taught them magic. These men became the Magisters of the Tevinter Empire. The Magisters used their gift to enter the Golden City, tainting it and themselves. They were cast out by the Maker and became the first Darkspawn. They fled underground, bringing their taint to their gods. The tainted old gods were the archdemons who rose from their prisons and led the Darkspawn against the world. The truth is, we don't really know. They come up from the ground, and that's as far as we've gotten. Yes, and it nearly wiped us out. When defeated, the Darkspawn flee back underground and seek out another old god to taint, thus bringing another blight. We haven't seen it yet. People are beginning to think this is just an unusually large Darkspawn raid without an archdemon to unify them. But seriously, the archdemon could be in the wilds or underground. It could be hiding. Just because it hasn't shown itself doesn't mean it isn't out there. They've controlled the deep roads ever since they defeated the Dwarven kingdoms. Even if we invaded, we can only chase them so far. The old gods were dragons, so the stories say. Big ones. Intelligent, even. The Tevinter Empire had big statues of them. Each dragon had a name and a place in the cosmos. It's all very intricate. The archdemons may not be the old gods, but they're definitely dragons. The Grey Wardens killed so many Darkspawn by the end of the last Blight, people decided they were gone for good. Of course. We chop off the snake's head. It's the only way. According to texts, the most famous Grey Warden leader, Garahel, killed the Archdemon Underal in personal combat at the Battle of Aesley to end the last Blight. Without the Archdemon to command them, the Darkspawn flee back underground. The Grey Wardens keep watch. We feel the Darkspawn when they come. You'll understand after the joining, if you... well, you'll understand. Not to mention people start to notice when Darkspawn pour out of the wilds and taint everything around them. Just a guess. Thousands? Tens of thousands? They've had centuries to build up their numbers. You want to ask me about something else? Duncan is the leader of the Grey Wardens in Ferelden, which he would say doesn't mean much, as there aren't many of us here. Yet, beyond that, he's a good man. A good judge of character. I owe him a lot. What about you? What do you think of him? Fair enough. He's done the best he can with what little he has. And that includes me, I guess. You want to ask me about something else? I wish I could tell you more. Maybe ask me again after Duncan speaks to you about it. You want to ask me about something else? The one tomorrow. I'll tell you. It's Loghain we should be looking to win it, not the king. Caelan just wants his place in history. The Tairn is planning the strategy. That's my opinion, anyway. I guess I should be thankful the king favors us Grey Wardens. But I know who's keeping the lid on the pot. We're at the edge of the Korcari wilds, the eye of the Blight storm, right where the Horde will be coming. Ostagar itself is an excellent defensive position. The Wilders were pushed back from here time and again in ancient days. I'm sure Loghain has the battle planned to the last detail. Still, no Blight has ever been defeated with so little cost. If we don't break the Horde here, Duncan says it will spread until it engulfs all of Ferelden. Then it will take an alliance of nations to fight it, which would be bad. Neither the king nor the Tairn really seems to believe this is a real Blight, however. You know, that's a good question. The other Grey Wardens are riding into battle with the king. I don't know if you'll be with them. You want to ask me about something else? Then let's get a move on, shall we?
Back again? Don't the Grey Wardens need... You go. I have preparation.
You found Alistair, did you? Good. I'll assume you're ready to begin preparations. Assuming, of course, that you're quite finished riling up mages, Alistair.
What can I say? The revered mother ambushed me. The way she wields guilt, they should stick her in the army.
She forced you to sass the mage, did she? We cannot afford to antagonize anyone, Alistair. We don't need to give anyone more ammunition against us.
You're right, Duncan. I apologize.
Now then, since you're all here, we can begin. You four will be heading into the Korcari Wilds to perform 2 tasks. The first is to obtain 3 vials of Darkspawn blood, 1 for each recruit. There was once a Grey Warden archive in the wilds, abandoned long ago when we could no longer afford to maintain such remote outposts. It has recently come to our attention that some scrolls have been left behind, magically sealed to protect them. Alistair, I want you to retrieve these scrolls if you can. Old treaties, if you're curious. Promises of support made to the Grey Wardens long ago. They were once considered only formalities. With so many having forgotten their commitments to us, I suspect it may be a good idea to have something to remind them with. It's possible the scrolls may have been destroyed or even stolen, though the seal's magic should have protected them. Only a Grey Warden can break such a seal.
I don't understand. Why leave such things in a ruin if they're so valuable?
It was assumed that we would someday return. A great many things were assumed that have not held true. No, but the effort must be made. I have every confidence you are up to the task. It will be an overgrown ruin by now, but the sealed chest should remain intact. Alistair will guide you to the area you need to search. Watch over your charges, Alistair. Return quickly and safely.
We will.
Then may the Maker watch over your path. I will see you when you return. So you return from the wilds. Have you been successful? Then you'd best start soon. You don't want to be in the wilds when night falls.
course.
Hail. I'm told you all have business in the wilds. The gate's open for you. Just be careful out there. Even a Grey Warden won't be safe in the forest tonight.
Right then. Any last words?
Well, all right. Lovely.
I am ready. I hail from Redcliffe, but Duncan recruited me in Highover, a city off the northern coast. Have you traveled there? I'm only curious. I was in Arlayman's retinue when he attended King Maric's funeral. It was in Highover that I met my Helena. I was smitten. She has the most beautiful eyes, my Helena. Now, for years I found any excuse to return there. We married a year ago. Arlayman gave me leave to serve in Highover, but I was attempting to persuade Helena to come to Redcliffe with me, at least until I was recruited. Never. I will return to her once my duty is done and the Blight defeated. Last month, Duncan visited Highover, and the band held a tournament in his honor. I won the Grand Melee. It was hard to leave my wife. We married only a year ago, and she is heavy with child now. But Ferelden needs my blade, and I shall not falter. He has a seemingly impossible task, with a scarce handful of Grey Wardens, yet he does not complain or flinch from his duty. We need to find those documents and the Darkspawn blood. It should be interesting. Indeed.
Yes? I grew up in a village about a day's trip to the east. Little blot you wouldn't even find on a map. Haven't been back in years. I struck out for the city as soon as I could outrun my pa. I've been in Denerim for what, 6 years now? Never liked it much, but there's more purses there than anywhere else. And a pickpocket, thank you very much. Or was, anyhow. Who'd ever guess I'd end up a Grey Warden? I found them. I cut Duncan's purse while he was standing in a crowd. He grabs my wrist, but I squirm out and bolt. The old bugger can run, but the garrison caught me first. I'm a wanted man in Denerim, you see, so they were going to string me up right there. Duncan stopped them, invoked the right of conscription. I gave the garrison the finger while I was walking away. Don't know why Duncan wants someone like me, but he says finesse is important and that I'm fast with a blade. You bet your boots I am. Besides, it beats getting strung up. All right for an old bugger. He's faster than he looks, too. You heard the same speech I did. Blood and old treaties. Off we go into the wilds. Hey, I'm following you, aren't I?
Over here. Who is that? Grey Wardens?
Well, he's not half as dead as he looks, is he?
My scouting band was attacked by Darkspawn. They came out of the ground. Please, help me. I've got to return to camp.
I have bandages in my pack.
Thank you. I've got to get out of here.
Did you hear? An entire patrol of seasoned men killed by Darkspawn.
Calm down, Sir Jory. We'll be fine if we're careful.
Those soldiers were careful, and they were still overwhelmed. How many Darkspawn can the four of us slay? A dozen? 100? There's an entire army in these forests.
There are Darkspawn about, but we're in no danger of walking into the bulk of the Horde.
How do you know? I'm not a coward, but this is foolish and reckless. We should go back. That's true.
Know this. All Grey Wardens can sense Darkspawn. Whatever their cunning, I guarantee they won't take us by surprise. That's why I'm here.
You see, Sir Knight, we might die, but we'll be warned about it first.
That is reassuring.
That doesn't mean I'm here to make this easy, however. So let's get a move on.
Of course.
I am ready. We should find those documents. Although if they were so important, why leave them out here? Indeed.
Yes? We still have to find those documents. I've never heard of a tower that stood for more than 10 years in this forest. Hey, I'm following you, aren't I?
Smell its breath from here.
Don't say I didn't warn you!
What is that? And so I right there! It's a fight!
May our blade strike true!
course.
This part takes forever!
And so I shall.
We still need to find those documents, if they're even here.
Of course. Well, all right.
Look there. Poor slobs. That just seems so excessive.
firelight ourselves. Lovely.
What's that?
As you deserve. Of course. And so I shall.
Right then.
So I shall, of course.
Time for some fun! Yeah! You asked for it!
Summons Azarath.
As you deserve.
Slumber.
Dead yet?
As you deserve. So I shall.
Don't say I didn't warn you!
So I shall.
Well, well. What have we here? Are you a vulture, I wonder? A scavenger, poking amidst a corpse whose bones were long since cleaned? Or merely an intruder, come into these darkspawn-filled wilds of mine in search of easy prey? What say you, Scavenger or intruder? 'Tis a tower no longer. The wilds have obviously claimed this desiccated corpse. I have watched your progress for some time. Where do they go, I wondered? Why are they here? And now you disturb ashes none have touched for so long. Why is that?
Don't answer her. She looks chastened, and that means others may be nearby.
You fear barbarians will swoop down upon you.
Yes, swooping is bad.
She's a witch of the wilds, she is. She'll turn us into toads.
Witch of the wilds. Such idle fancies, those legends. Have you no minds of your own? You there. Women do not frighten like little boys. Tell me your name and I shall tell you mine. Now that is a proper civil greeting, even here in the wilds. You may call me Morrigan. Shall I guess your purpose? You sought something in that chest? Something that is here no longer?
Here no longer? You stole them, didn't you? You're some kind of sneaky witch thief.
How very eloquent. How does one steal from dead men?
Quite easily, it seems. Those documents are Grey Warden property, and I suggest you return them.
I will not, for 'twas not I who removed them. Invoke a name that means nothing here any longer if you wish. I am not threatened. 'Twas my mother, in fact. Yes, my mother. Did you assume I spawned from a log?
A thieving, weird-talking log, perhaps?
Not all in the wilds are monsters. Flowers grow as well as toads. If you wish, I will take you to my mother. 'Tis not far from here, and you may ask her for your papers if you like.
We should get those treaties, but I dislike this Morrigan's sudden appearance. It's too convenient.
Have I been dishonest? Some call us witches, yes, but purely out of superstition.
You know what the Circle of Magi is, don't you? The Circle requires an accounting of all mages. That is the law of the land and the Chantry.
If you wish to tell your Chantry about me, go ahead. I have nothing to fear from priests. She prefers her privacy, but I imagine she will be curious enough why you were here. Come, see for yourself. Why not? I do not meet many people here. Are you all so mistrustful?
She'll put us all in the pot, she will. Just you watch.
If the pot's warmer than this forest, it'd be a nice change.
Follow me then, if it pleases you. Greetings, Mother. I bring before you 4 Grey Wardens who...
I see them, girl. Much as I expected.
Are we supposed to believe you were expecting us?
You are required to do nothing, least of all believe. Shut one's eyes tight or open one's arms wide. Either way, one's a fool.
She's a witch, I tell you. We shouldn't be talking to her.
Quiet, Daveth. If she's really a witch, do you want to make her mad?
There is a smart lad. Sadly irrelevant to the larger scheme of things, but it is not I who decides. Believe what you will. And what of you? Does your woman's mind give you a different viewpoint? Or do you believe as these boys do? A statement that possesses more wisdom than it implies. Be always aware. Or is it oblivious? I can never remember. So much about you is uncertain, and yet I believe. Do I? Why, it seems I do.
So this is a dreaded Witch of the Wilds.
Witch of the Wilds, huh? Morrigan must have told you that. She fancies such tales, though she would never admit it. Oh, how she dances under the moon.
They did not come to listen to your wild tales, Mother.
True, they came for their treaties, yes? And before you begin barking, your precious seal wore off long ago. I have protected these.
You... Oh, you protected them?
And why not? Take them to your Grey Wardens and tell them this Blight's threat is greater than they realize. Do I? Perhaps I am simply an old woman with a penchant for moldy parchments. Oh, do not mind me. You have what you came for.
Time for you to go, then.
Do not be ridiculous, girl. These are your guests.
Oh, very well. I will show you out of the woods. Follow me,